Hello and good day to you, dear viewer. As the new fixed TF2 movement is coming around, I wanted to make this video to throw into the pile of criticism that Valve will hopefully receive on the fateful day. For those who are unaware, a video recently released by a Team Fortress 2 YouTuber ZestyJesus has garnered a lot of attention within the game's community. According to that video, roughly 70% of TF2's player base reported by Steam consists of bots, mostly sitting in private back-secure servers, idling and farming item drops. Now that's bad, of course, but not as bad as the much more visible issue of cheating bots who, while much smaller in quantity, ruin the game for everyone, not just item traders. Another YouTuber, The What Show, has reported that the people who host said cheating bots have gone on to harass, personally threaten, and even dox their most outspoken detractors, as well as in one case committing identity fraud by pretending to be one of the detractors, and issuing a bomb threat to their school. Now, I'm not going to go in depth into all of these facts. You can find the videos I mentioned in the description and go see for yourself. Instead, I want to discuss the plans for the movement and overview how Valve might react to it. So, the plan devised by TF2ers is as follows. On June 3rd, the entire Team Fortress 2 community shall band together on any possible online spaces with the hashtag FixedTF2 and focus all criticism towards a single problem, the bot crisis. This is different from the Save TF2 movement 2 years ago, because that one was way less focused and whittled down to a celebration of the game as well as asking for it to receive content updates instead of an anti-cheat patch. Additionally, a website with a petition has been set up. The organizers have promised to print out every single signature on individual pieces of paper and deliver them all to Valve's headquarters. I think honing in on a singular problem is a great idea. It gets the main point across way better to both people wanting to join in and Valve when they hopefully eventually respond. There are a couple people arguing that the matchmaking needs to be fixed as well, but as we stand right now, that would not only seem like too much work for Valve, it would also disrupt the main focus of the movement. The petition is probably the most controversial half of the plan. A lot of people have shown concerns about the logistics of this process as well as Valve's possible reaction to getting stacks upon stacks of paper sent to their doorstep. ZestyJesus himself has said in a recent live stream that this idea is stupid, as Valve will just throw all these papers into a shredder and forget about them. But I think such an assessment is not thinking of the outcomes broadly enough. Let me explain. So, let's go over the different reactions Valve could have to the movement and what can be done from that point. I'd categorize them into 3 scenarios: oh, hell yeah, sure, that'll work, and oops, that's gonna bite you in the butt later. The first scenario, oh hell yeah, is the best possible outcome for the campaign. Valve sees the concentrated criticism, receives all the signatures and has a change of heart, not only fixing their anti-cheat but also figuring out a way to remove the idling bots as well. What would be the bot hosters' reaction to this? In my opinion, most people hosting the bots would simply move on to other games. Idler bots exist because people in poor countries can get a significant amount of money from trading item drops online. If idling becomes too tedious, hard to automate and a general thorn in the side, it will no longer be worth doing. As such, idlers will focus onto easier to exploit games like RuneScape. Cheater botters, on the other hand, do what they do for attention and to get a laugh at the rage. Making cheating harder will have basically the same effect as with idling. It'll be too much effort and the trolls will look for easier targets instead. Of course, some are particularly hellbent on ruining Team Fortress 2 specifically, and will stop at nothing to make the game's experience miserable for everyone. However, if Valve decides to actually take action, it might be possible for them to try and eliminate the problem at its core, issuing legal warnings against the hosters for the harassment they've done using Valve's platforms. Obviously, due to anonymity, this won't immediately stop them, but it will light a fire under their butts and force them to be extra careful if they want to continue their shenanigans. The second scenario, sure that'll work, is what I believe will be the most likely outcome for TF2 as a whole. Simply put, Valve will realize that at least something must be done, but won't want to go the extra mile to fix the botting issue. Instead, they will publicly release all the tools players might need to host their own servers, and cut support for the game, shutting down their official servers and disabling all item drops as well as trading. This way, people will be able to modify and host servers for the game in any way they want and make use of custom anti-cheats. In a way, this is already happening, and Valve will just remove public matchmaking, forcing players to go for the server browser. Obviously, the idling issue will be fixed completely, since there will no longer be item drops to farm and sell. It will, however, shut down the game's trading economy, which might be a huge bummer for traders as well as new players who want to receive cool, unique cosmetics. The cheater bots will probably see the same fate as in the first scenario, but likely without Valve's intervention. They will instead be fought off by passionate server hosters updating their custom anti-cheats in an arms race of sorts against the cheaters. In this scenario, VAC will not be updated, and its problems will still be prevalent, maybe even more so, in other Valve games like Counter-Strike 2, Dota, and the upcoming Deadlock. The final scenario, oops that's gonna bite you in the butt later, is the worst possible outcome, where just like last time, nothing will happen and Valve will let Team Fortress 2 rot and fester along with that. Needless to say, the botting problem will persist and players will most likely receive a huge blow to morale. If we do things right, however, this won't be the end of the campaign. If Valve shows that they do not care in the slightest, this will be a signal for all Steam users that the time for peaceful demonstrations is over. We have to make things known with our wallets and maybe even with legal action. A boycott of not only TF2, but all Valve products will hit them right where it hurts, and since the cheaters are directly using Team Fortress 2 to commit illegal actions, Valve are also legally liable for facilitating them. Additionally, Valve's neglect will, and already is resulting in the bot problem growing bigger and bigger, meaning it will spread to other games and ruin the experience for everybody outside of TF2 as well. No matter which way you look at it, Valve will stand to lose a lot if they ignore this problem completely. Ultimately, I think Fix TF2 is quite a good idea for a campaign that is likely to see results thanks to the much better planning behind it. However, all depends on exactly how Valve will respond to it. If they address the problem, cool. If they shut down TF2 and let the players host it instead, that's not as bad of a thing as you might imagine. But if Valve ignores us just like last time, that's when we will know for sure that they are also against us for some reason, and that we will need to take drastic measures, like boycotting and legal action. Thanks for watching my analysis of the campaign, and I hope you got something new from this video. Have a nice day, and remember to post about Fix TF2, sign the petition and maybe even put a negative review on the game to get through to Valve. Oh, and happy Pride Month as well. Please remember that no matter how it might feel right now, there are people who genuinely love you for you and will support you no matter what. Bye bye.